G'day everybody, it's Master Yoda here and hope you guys are all doing well. The title of today's video is The Negative Impact Constant Rejection Has on a Man's Mental Health and How Women Always Treat It as Insignificant. And I must thank one of my commenters, he goes by the name of @stinkface1992. He made this topic suggestion to me, and thank you very much for that, Stinkface. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few negative impacts that constant rejection can have on a man's health. First one's depression, big time. He's constantly getting rejected from women all the time. It can cause depression. I've had two nasty bouts of inkwell-related depression. The first one was in 2004, and the second one was over the pandemic, which would have been 2020, 2021, and yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, it's not good. So depression is probably one negative impact. The second one I can think of off the top of my head, loss of confidence, loss of self-esteem. You're constantly getting rejected or friend zoned by women. It's the same thing anyway. Yeah, that's kind of a very damaging effect on your mental health, big time. I mean, me personally, obviously I have sexual confidence because of all the practice I've had with my pay for play or escort selling, but in terms of other confidence and being able to talk to women, I can talk to women, I can talk to anyone, I can talk the legs off a chair, but I just have no confidence at all because, if I make the mistake of trying to ask that woman, I know what's going to happen. It's just going to be a rejection. So, yes, as far as that's concerned, yeah, it does destroy your self-confidence. It does, because you've had no success. Yes, that's number two, loss of self-confidence. And number three, skepticism. And what I mean by that is, even in the unlikely but possible event some woman shows some interest in, you're going to be skeptical of it because of all that negative reinforcement, all that rejection you've got. You're saying to yourself, "Oh, this is just too good to be true. This can't be happening. This is bullshit. This was probably just prick teasing me or something." And I'll give you an example where it caused skepticism in me. Back in the early 2000s, I was going to this mature age brothel, and I was seeing this mature age lady tonight, and she was hot. I mean, she was gorgeous. She was a blonde Stacy. I mean, she was a mature lady, but she was gorgeous. And she was the most popular woman at this brothel. She got the most bookings because she was the hottest, and she was also the best in bed. And I really clicked with this woman. We clicked in the bedroom. We got along really well. And after the second or third time I saw her, after we had sex, so I was making a bit of small talk with her, and totally unsolicited. Sorry, no pun intended. She gives me her contact details with her real name and a phone number. See, because what ladies of the night do, they don't go by their real names; they just use an alias. And she gave me contact details with her real name and number. And she said, "Oh, look, if one day if you're free one night, we can go out somewhere." And I have to confess, I didn't call her back because I was skeptical of it. I thought, what would this smoking hot blonde Stacy see in a sub-3 subhuman like me? I don't know, maybe she thought I was good in bed or something. Who knows? So I was skeptical. I didn't call her back. Because also what hookers do sometimes, if they like a particular client and they trust them, they might try and score them as a private client so they can make more business outside of the brothel. And I've actually done that with a few ladies of the night that I get along with. What they do, they like you, they trust you, and they say to you, or you can ask them, would you, if you can see them as a private client, and they'll see you in their own homes. And that's at I've had that arrangement with a few ladies tonight that I've met. They like me and they trust me, and they said, "Look, come and see me as a private client." And sometimes they'll give you a discount. Yeah, so I thought maybe she was doing that, or maybe she was just prick teasing. So I didn't call her back because I was skeptical. Yeah. The second part of the part that Stinkface suggested was women always treated as insignificant. Yeah, well, they do. I don't know if you guys recall a little while ago, a couple of days ago, I think a week or so ago, a bit of a scandal broke out. What happened was there was a thing about Men's Mental Health Month, and this very young, immature lady decides to do a TikTok video where she's making fun of men's mental health. Look, mental health is no laughing matter, regardless whether the person's a man or a woman. Things like depression. Um, you know, we all know where severe depression can potentially lead to, and it's pretty. I thought it was pretty poor effort, pretty poor form on the part of this very immature young lady to make fun of men's mental health. Would you like it if us men made a TikTok video or whatever video making fun of women's mental health? Obviously, women's mental health that needs to be, that's a serious issue too. That needs to be, looked after and taken care of. But so does men's mental health as well. But unfortunately, in our gynocentric society, where where it's open season on men. Let's bash men. Yeah, they treat men's mental health like it's a joke, and it shouldn't be treated like a joke. All mental health, regardless of whether you're a man or woman, should be taken seriously. I don't want to see any women get depressed and potentially unaliving themselves because of mental health. No, I don't wish mental illness upon anybody, a man or a woman. So I think it's pretty poor form on the part of that young lady to treat mental health like it's a joke. It's not a joke for anybody. Um, so yeah, that's basically all I would pretty much want to say. With regard to summarise the negative impact that constant rejection can have man's health. There's obviously depression, lack of self confidence, and skepticism. Oh, another thing too. There's rejection fatigue. As I mentioned in my video about the speed rejection, the narrator of the video that was talking about men not turning up to or refusing to attend speed rejection functions was rejection fatigue. Guys, it just burns you out mentally. It just does. You're just so fatigued from all the rejection. You just say, "Nah, I give up." And once again, whether a man should give up on dating is a personal decision. But if it's getting to the stage where, regardless of how well you're presenting yourself and how good your life is in order, if women are still rejecting you, regardless how well you're presenting yourself, you probably are better off giving up. And I'm not saying that to be defeatist or nihilistic. No, because if you're just going to keep approaching women and keep getting rejected all the time, it's going to do your mental health some serious damage. So in that case, you probably are better off giving up. One of my biggest regrets in life was ever trying to find a wife or a girlfriend. I know it's easy to be wise after the event, with the benefit of hindsight. Because if I knew that all that rejection was going to cause me all that depression, no way. I would have never tried in the first place. But once again, it's easy to be wise after the event. But look, even if you do manage to get into a relationship, if that relationship is toxic, you're probably better off getting out of it. Because the longer you stay in that relationship, you can do your mental health some serious damage. I'll give you a classic example. I have a close friend of mine who's been in a relationship with a single mother for the last 3.5 years, and he's I wouldn't say he's got full blown depression, but his mental health is starting to suffer because this single mother. Look, I'm not saying she's a bad person per se, but she does have some mental issues where she constantly puts my friend down. She's rude to him. She's just disrespectful. And on one occasion, I think this was back in late 2022, she humiliated him in front of her friends because of all this, because of the way she treats because of the way the single mother often treats my friend or mistreats my friend. He's now starting to have some issues down below, if you know what I mean. And she publicly told that in front of her friends. You don't do that. I mean, if you've got a problem with somebody, pull them aside in private and discuss the issue with them and try and resolve it. You don't embarrass them in front of other people. You just don't do stuff like that. And obviously stuff like that's making him more depressed and sad. My friend has taken this single mother out on a couple of holidays. She disrespected him. I said to my friend, look, for the sake of your mental health and your happiness, you need to break up with this woman. I mean, be nice about it. Just politely shake hands, say, look, this is not working out. I wish you the best, and walk away. Walk away. I mean, they're not married. They don't live together. They just see each other on weekends. So legally, I don't think she'll be able to get any money off him. So that's what I told my friend. Look, you need to for your own happiness and for your mental health, politely break up with this woman and walk away. So even if you are in a relationship and that relationship's toxic, get the hell out of it as soon as possible. Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's basically my they're the negative impacts that constant rejection from women can have on a man's mental health. Depression, we all know that can lead to. And once again, if any of you guys are severely depressed, please get help immediately, and don't do anything crazy. I think you know what I'm referring to. Yeah, depression, lack of self-confidence, and skepticism, and number 4, rejection fatigue. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening to my video. If you'd like to leave your likes, comments, subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon. You guys have a great day. Bye for now.